Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing, and we are here for the midway point in the season. It is round 7 out of 14, and we are here for our traditional mid-season race at the Silverstone Grand Prix here in the United Kingdom for the Challenger Series. Another Tuesday night of action. As you see, we do have some guy here tonight, but not F1 nerds, so that should shake up the Drivers' Championship. My name is Camden Luca, doing lead commentary tonight, and back with me this week, fellow Elite Series driver who will be doing a 100% race tomorrow, along with myself. Sir Charles, I don't know if you've noticed, but in the last couple of minutes, it's gotten quite cloudy. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah, I mean, that could just be Britain being Britain. It's fairly normal there. They only see the sun about, a few days a year during the summer. But, yeah, it's, the threat of rain is definitely real. I mean, I'd be shocked if, between, Challenger Series and Elite Series, there's not at least one section that's, rainy here. But, yeah, it's, I think we're going to make it through qualifying. I'm happy to be back after missing last week, and I think we're going to see some good racing there. Some guy goes P2, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Britain it's always good for racing, always good to drive around, despite the lack of elevation and whatnot. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens here and see what these guys can provide for us.
Right now, Kluka is continuing his qualifying dominance this season, a 25.6, which is almost 4/10 ahead of some guy, which is only the second driver now to get into the 125s. So, what do we think? Is Kluka's time going to hold up here?
I wouldn't be surprised if Kluka's time actually does hold up, which would be quite surprising since he didn't in the first minute of qualifying. There are certain couple guys such as D-Swish, I think some guy hasn't really been lining it up for qualifying, but I think definitely D-Swish is probably the biggest challenger to Kluka. He's actually on a lap right now. You could maybe get under the 25.5 mark if you really hit the lap. I think he's really good. Him and maybe some guy probably only challenge Kluka right now. Like I said, that's a really great lap from Kluka, especially considering, like I said, track evolution and all that. We did that pretty early in qualifying. Purple sector 2. So that's not always the most accurate thing.
This right here is one of the trickier corners. You really can get overconfident in that corner, try to go flat out, and if you take the wrong line, things will not go well. But let's see what D-Swish does. A 25.8 up to P2.
Yeah, he's going to have to hustle a bit, but I think he should have just enough time to come around. Get that another lap. But, one thing to keep an eye out on with pit strategy here during the race is that for some reason Codemasters pit lane speed at 30 miles an hour. Delta is about 28-27 seconds. One of the largest pit deltas on the game. Right up there are probably MLS, probably the other one. So, yeah, I think even it's gonna be more interesting. I think in the 100% race tomorrow, because I think less pit stops might be ideal. So tire management could be key. But that's just something to keep in mind on, especially, if you get a safety car, you almost half the pit in a 50% race.
Yeah, that is a good point, though, Charles. Tomorrow will be the 100% race. We will be starting that race a half hour early due to the length of the race. So usually we start at 8:45 Eastern. We're starting tomorrow's race at 8:15 Eastern. speedy heading through the right-hander of turn 15.
Oh, out of fuel.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Trying to see if he said the way you crawl on the pit road. He's got enough time to get back out there, but we'll see.
I will say, though, this is one of the best tracks when it comes to cutting the track on your out lap. Or your in lap. If you need to get back to the pits, or if you need to get back to the finish line, there's plenty of areas to go and scrub off some time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Straight line the Agates and Beckett section. There is some place, around the stadium section there. Yeah. Now, Joby, I think he might be a little too late. It'd be very close to him. We're not entirely sure if he's looking for another lap or not. Alright,
now,
everyone's in the pits. Oh, it's actually Kluka just went out.
Yeah, Kluk is going to be the first one to finish off his qualifying. Charles, I gotta ask, how many names of the corners do you know around here? Just from memory. Because there's a lot.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. It's like this place in Spa, it's unique. The corners, corner new tracks that have corner names. Let's see. There's Abbey, which I think is the first turn. Oh, I'm drawing a blank on what the just the little the newer section is called. Maggots and Beckett's. There's Brooklands. There's Stowe. What's the... And of course there's the Hangar Straight, and the Wellington Straight, and the Hamilton Straight. What are those? Jeez. What's the other one? Oh my god,
I can tell you because I've got the map pulled up.
Cops. Cops is one.
Yep, for Stafford's corner.
Isn't Cops is the old turn one. Stowe is where Kluk is going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this corner is called.
Vale. And this is Club that he just went through, but Kluka is starting his lap.
For turn one's Abbey, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then what's the stadium section called?
This is Village, this right-hander, and then this is the Loop.
The Loop. I almost called it the Loop. But
there he goes, and that is his qualifying over.
Alright, Jabbar, next guy on the track.
Alright, how good's your memory, Charles? What are these corners?
This is the Loop.
Good job.
Just came through Village. This is the Wellington Straight, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Jabbar's up on his time. What is this? Brooklands?
Very good.
I'm getting it down, sort of.
Yeah, you're getting an A as of now. Professor Camden is very pleased. Here's the Verstappen corner.
He's in Red Bull. On board with Jabbar here, so that's appropriate.
I know it's not called that, but I'm going to be calling it that, so you guys
everyone knows
cry
what
all
you're
you
talking
want.
About. Yeah, 210's up. He could have been a bit more aggressive, honestly, through, Maggots and Beckett's there a little bit, cutting corner races, trying to validate. Yeah, he's up on his time, but needs a whole 8/10 another spot, and so I think he's going to stay P5, which is kind of been where he's stuck at most of the season, honestly. Yeah, solid improvement, but it ain't going to do him any good. Some guy up by a 10th, or 10th and a half. He's getting 7th gear through Stowe. Interesting, he usually go down to 6. But, see, bro, he gets up on that curb, it can unsettle the car. The unsettled beast, yes. They're inching closer to Kluka. D-Swish could challenge him. He's 2/10 up.
Pilot up to P2. A Mercedes 1-2 as of right now.
I said they're inching closer and closer. This is going to be closer to D-Swish. I think he might split the Mercedes here. Oh, I think he got it.
He did. Pole position last second for D-Swish. Wow. I just saw it was a 25.515. That, man, we asked if somebody was going to eclipse Kluka, and he barely did it.
I was just above the over-under. I said 125.5. I thought maybe we might see someone dip under that, but regardless, yeah, pretty clutch lap there from Mr. D-Swish. And Kluka will be kicking himself. I mean, when you're able to do that with no rubber on the track, you'd think you'd improve, but that's not always the case. But yeah, top four, 2/10 apart, and then you have a whole 0.6 of a second back to Jabbar. Jabbar's kind of stuck where Jabbar's been stuck at the whole year, really. There's no F1 nerd here today, so we'll see if Jabbar can carry the banner for Red Bull.
I did just see F1 nerd leave a comment for Jabbar in the YouTube chat. He says that Jabbar is going to get a podium, which does lead us into predictions time. And all I got to ask is, y'all ready for this? All right, I'm going to stop before we get copyrighted. I think I've done a good job of hiding it the last few weeks from getting us copyrighted, but it is that time, Charles. We're not allowed to pick Jabbar, by the way. Jabbar has requested us not to pick him because anytime we do, it does not go well for Jabbar. So, Jabbar excluded. Who do you got?
Well, winning the race, I'm going to have Jabbar. I'm just kidding.
Jabbar.
Anyway, I am going to go with someone who I think has been close, hasn't quite gotten it done, partly due to his own doing. I'm going to go with Pilot P1. I think he's really good at race pace. And then I'm going to go... Man, whoa, what is Speedy doing? Okay, Speedy forgot what a track was. But anyway. Yeah,
typical
I'm gonna go,
Speedy formation lap.
I'm going to go D-Swish P2. And then I'm going to go Kluka P3. So I'm just fixing up the top three there. So I'm not really stepping out too much of a limb. But I'm going to have Pilot, D-Swish, and Kluka. That's my top three.
Okay. I am going to go with D-Swish P1. I think it'll be a clean sweep for him today. I'm going to go with some guy in P2. And then I historically have left Pilot out of my podium just about every week. And every week that Pilot has shown up, he's finished on the podium. So I'll go Pilot P3. I just don't like the fact that he's starting on the mediums. And I think it's interesting that the two Mercedes are the only people not starting on the hard tire.
They're not thinking a little bit tired. But yeah, it's interesting. The key to their race is they're going to have to get past D-Swish quick and then just kind of ride off into the sunset. But the thing is with them, again, like I was saying, there's only 9 guys and there aren't many places to crash into a wall here, or a few. But if they get an early safety car or a VSC sometime early on, it can really, really benefit them. Because like I said, you almost have to pit, and then just put on the part to go to the end. Oh, Joby doesn't know how to park. Speedy's parking sideways again.
It's just like every other week. Alright, here we go. Round 7, the British Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go from the British Grand Prix. Who gets off the line the best? Kluka gets a great start. He's going to get D-Swish here into turn 1. There's a bit of contact though. D-Swish has to go wide, and he's going to drop down to P3 now. As they head down into turn 3, Kluka has the lead.
Oh, both Shabar and Speedy gonna come together. Speedy had a fantastic start. A little bit of argy-barginess there. I don't think no doing Owens. Pine goes around. I think he just got onto the gas too hard. Lost the back end. Speedy and Shabar side by side.
Let's see how this goes. These two have raced side by side many of times. Shabar has to go quite wide, but he does get a good line heading in to this corner, and he will take P4.
They're giving each other a bit too much room there. All for clean racing, but you know, it's not an Apex. It's Speedy making his own line. Probably getting a warning there. Warnings in this game can be kind of tricky. Sometimes if you go way off course, it doesn't give you one, but you barely go over the line about a centimeter here. So I don't know. But anyway, Pilot can get around D-Swish here before Suka gets away.
Into Stowe, Speedy with the battery. Chabar around the outside. Great overtake by Chabar.
These guys are being pretty respectful so far, opening laps of the race. They got some guy who did not get a good start. You might have said that, but I know some guys gonna have to be really reaching here trying to get around these guys.
Yeah, he's got to recognize that it is a long race. His championship rival isn't here tonight, so all he's got to do is finish the race, and he is gaining on his points lead.
Speedy, a little bit of a tank slap there, but yeah. And now you look at it, I mean, Shabar is already full. I mean, we can't exactly see what the gap is, because Speedy's a minute and a half behind Shabar.
I hate that.
It looks like Chabar is almost pulling out of DRS range, so that would be interesting to see. Speedy really slow through the apex, and it kind of threw some guy off. And here comes Oreo. I think Oreo's just going to stay in line for now.
As they head in the cops, it is 3 abreast here from 5th through 7th. Oreo African lurking to see if one of these guys ahead will make a mistake. Yeah, some guy, he wants to get this done here down the hangar straight. Speedy also going to use his battery, though. Great defense as they head into Stowe. Around the outside once again through this corner. Oh, that's tight. Too close for comfort there.
Yeah, I think Speedy's running a very low downforce setup, at least more than the guys around him. He's pretty quick in a straight line, but he does seem struggling with the corners. And now DRS enabled. I'm thinking some guy which should be able to make quick work up in here.
Well, he's got to get around the Ryan Newman of TCR, so that's never an easy task.
On the overtake, on the DRS, not a whole lot Speedy can do right there. I actually gotta hope that he gets a little bit of a gap before he gets back to the hangar straight.
At the back, it looked like there was a bit of a stumble for Joby as he had a moment there going through the loop. And I haven't mentioned him yet, but you said something about Pine earlier on. Pine, first start in this league.
Speedy already with a penalty. That's not a good start. Good start, though, for D-Swift. He is still sticking with Kluka. And granted, Kluka has used a little bit of battery, but he's still got a decent amount left. That's boding well for him. He'll be able to keep up with the Mercedes guys on his hard tires. We have a caution, though. It's Joby again. And Joby gets going. No harm done to anyone else. D-Swish, fastest lap. Yeah, he's D-Swish pretty good here. Some guy has already closed back in on Chabar.
D-Swish, not the best exit there. He might get him, though. Kluka going very defensive now as they head into Brooklands. Can he get this done? And yes, he does. D-Swish back to the front.
Yeah. Again, that's not a good sign if you're one of the Mercedes drivers, but Kluka, just hanging behind there. I think Kluka should still have pace. And just kind of, this is one of those tracks you kind of get dragged into a game leapfrog. So you just stay in the DRS, serve some battery, and just get back there. And I think we're about to see a pass for 4th position as Chabar. This is every single pass to Magnus Beckett's, and some guy is going to get an easy overtake.
Kluka back to P1, some guy up to P4. It looked like D-Swish kind of went a little bit wide there through turn 13, the last corner of Maggots and Beckett, and that set Kluka up for a pretty easy overtake. I love his helmet, by the way, the Kluka's helmet, that American helmet. It actually goes well, because if you look at the top of the car, of the Mercedes, it almost looks like stars, you know? Like, it looks like, maybe that's intentional on his part. I know he's an American, obviously, but...
It'd probably look better with George Russell car, because it has the blue bar instead of the yellow bar.
Right. Oh! Contact there! Not the first time we've seen that between D-Swish and Pilot in the last couple of races. If you flash back to Bahrain, that is how the race ended, with D-Swish going around.
Yeah.
Boy,
maybe it's the bad juju for Pilot there, because he's got the Ferrari helmet in the Mercedes. That just bothers me more than it probably should, but anyway.
We actually asked him a couple weeks ago about that, and he had no idea that he was wearing a Ferrari helmet, so clearly he doesn't really care. He's gonna do what he wants. Can you imagine if a Formula 1 driver did that? If they were in some sort of, like, contract holdout or something, where they're just, like, you know, frustrated with their team, and they show up with a completely different helmet on race day. Just the madness.
It'd be like, what was it, 2007 in NASCAR, where Dale Jr. drove Kyle Busch's car into the race, whatever?
Yes.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah. Which is funny, because he basically ended up doing that next season.
Yeah. But speaking of, we're on topics of helmets, I think Suntag is the best helmet. I really like the design, and he's got color coordinated with the Alpine pretty well, so.
Yeah, that is sweet. Let's see if we can get an overhead shot of this. Cameraman's not giving me something to work with here. Oh, that could have been good if the camera was maybe a little behind. I think he just clipped the curb pretty heavily there going into Maggots and Beckett's, but yeah, that helmet is perfect.
You can't really see it from the angle it's giving us, but I saw another angle, I think during qualifying, of Oreo's helmet. I really liked Oreo's helmet. Obviously, you can't really get a good view of it. Given as well, so Speedy goes past Oreo. No battery.
Ooh, Oreo had a good run out of Stowe, but he has to lift and let Speedy stay in P6, but Speedy clipping a curb there, going into turn 16, and he's going to get away, though.
I'm going to give a shout-out to Pine, who was caught too. Remember, Pine spun in the loop on lap 1, and has picked up a good amount of time on these guys. So, should at him, I think. I mean, it's going to be hard because Oreo has DRS, but I don't see if there's any team orders here.
Probably not. Probably
I'm
not.
showing a bit of bit of pace here, although he has use all of his battery to get there. Anyway.
Ooh, Speedy switchback. Is he going to switch back again here to the inside? He's going to try it, just can't get the acceleration. Oh, but he might get him, though, as Oreo goes off the track. Yikes.
Hey, a little off-roading there. That's not what you want to do, and I think it's going to set Pine up pretty well. Speedy goes wide again. Speedy can get that corner figured out And I think Speedy might have, once he wide, I think he kind of is being cheeky here. Because I think Pine, I think, is clearly faster at the moment, but Speedy is just going to blow past him. Especially, I'm pretty sure Speedy has, like I said, a lower downforce setup, and yeah, I wouldn't even bother with the battery if I was Pine there, but he drained what little he had left, and he goes wide.
Yeah, that's probably a warning right there.
Oh, Speedy hops that sausage curve there.
That's pretty easy to do.
Speedy's car looks just unsettled. It's all over the place.
In most scenarios, I would say that's the game, but probably not.
Well, it doesn't look like it's a typical game. It looks like the bat. Yeah, he kind of did it again. The bat is just not happy. And here we go. I think, again, I would not have used any battery there. I said, don't take it, not. You just wait for the next opportunity. But it's Speedy Gunner again. Oh, yeah. Bad to worse for Speedy. And again, he gets a little sideways off of... I would like to see his rear tire wear. I feel like he's just butchering it. And again, Pine is just burning the battery. You need to do... Oh, and Speedy goes wide again. So does Pine. Speedy really went wide.
Speedy's thinking this is NASCAR. No track limits. Oh, sideways.
Oh, Bordeaux got one. Now I think Speedy is going to come back at him. Will he?
Using the battery with 0% left as Pine. Oh, I think he was going to try to do a switchback, but Speedy slid right in front of him. This is some good, hard racing. Pine is going to think better of it.
Pine's going to be getting kind of frustrated here.
You made a comment.
Kluka slipped back out of DRS. Pilot is all over D-Swish right now.
I remember a couple of weeks ago, Charles, Dorian returned, and you said in order to come back to the league, you have to get baptized by Speedy, and it looks like Pine is getting that treatment right now.
See, now Pine is not using any battery. He is... Yeah, there you go. I said save it. If you get around them, fine, but just don't touch the battery until you get to the hanger straight. Hopefully, Pine slipped past them and don't touch the battery. Just wait. Just wait.
And here comes Lewis Hamilton on Max Verstappen. Oh, no.
Lead change.
Down the hanger straight. They're playing leapfrog. Pilot up to P1. None of us... Well, actually, no. You picked Pilot for the win, which I don't think either of us have picked him for a win this season. He has won a race, by the way.
Pine does hold off Speedy.
Speedy is in an alpha sandwich right now.
Pine can just get a clean lap in. I think he can go get away from these guys.
I am curious as to what Pine is thinking right now. Is he happy that he's having this great battle, or is he frustrated because he feels like maybe he could be up towards Chabar?
I think he's frustrated just because, again, he spun in the first turn. I think, had that not happened, he wouldn't have been with Chabar, at least. You almost feel bad for guys like Chabar and some guy, because ever since they lap 3, they were side by side with each other. It's been a lonely because some guy got a penalty, so give a glimmer of hope to Chabar, but those guys just been all by lonesome. Top 3 are all over each other.
Yeah, it's funny. We have this group of 3 at the front. We have some guy in Chabar in no man's land, and then we have the group of Pine, Speedy, and Oreo behind them.
Yeah.
New,
Pine
new, new.
is almost breaking away. Like I said, Pine, I think he will break. Once he does break away at the DRS, I think he'll ride off in the sunset. Oh, Joby, safety car. That is a safety car.
That is out of cops that he crashed. That's quite an interesting spot to lose it at. It looked like he hit the inside wall just based on the track map, and yeah, this is going to change things.
I mean, not rubbing the halfway point. I mean, they'll just reset the field. I mean, everyone's going to pit, and we'll see, you know. Now it's going to be interesting to see what pace the Mercedes guys have. How their hards can hang versus everyone else who's going to have mediums now. Now, one good thing for Kluka. Oh, Chabar got a. Chabar, it's safe. You got a 3-second under safety car.
Yeah, don't want to be doing that.
Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, so the good news for Kluka is that he has a big gap behind him, so he can drop back quite a bit. Again, as long as he doesn't hold up some guy, he can back quite a bit. He should not really get penalized at all for the double stack. I would like to see the safety car come out earlier, because then you would have had the guys on hards, having to stretch the hards to the end, and you would have the guys from the pit. I think Kluka should be fine here. He shouldn't lose a spot to the double stack.
Well, here they come. Let's see how this works.
Definitely would have backed up a bit more than he did if he could have.
Everybody into the pits as expected.
And
we might have an AlphaTauri double stack too.
It was in last anyway, so.
Yeah, that was a pretty good execution there by the Mercedes crew. Kluka not losing much time at all. And it looks like he's not going to lose any spots, at least in the pits, but Pine is going to take a risk and stay out.
I have no idea what he's doing.
First race, you know, maybe he'll get some beginner's luck.
I mean, he gets another safety car. I mean, maybe from the softs. But you're gonna need another safety car, and with pit delta being so, maybe he doesn't think he can take the mediums to the end. I mean, D-Switch was looking pretty. I mean, the Mercedes guys were still looking pretty good on lap 11 when the mediums.
So now the big question is, though, like, Pilot, like, he has to get around Pine here on the restart. How is Pine going to race these guys? Did I take the words out of your mouth?
Says that his rears were not any more worn than the fronts. Interesting, but
Zionical is laughing at you, Charles.
I don't know which one that. Yeah, I don't know what for. But anyway, sure, something I said. But anyway, it should be interesting. I think it's going to make the restart really interesting and really important as well. So I said this. I thought the safety car was going to do absolutely nothing aside from just bunching the field back up. But now, you know, I thought maybe Pine would have had second thoughts, ducking the pits, but he's not. This could be interesting.
Yeah, I just don't see this working out for him unless if we do get another safety car, like, right after the restart, because at that point he could probably put on soft tires, but even then, that's a stretch. Taking the soft tires 10 plus laps to the end of the race.
Yeah, I mean, the only logical explanation as to why he's still staying out is that maybe he just doesn't think the mediums can last. Which, I mean, if he doesn't, I mean, I don't know, I'm just trying to explain it, but anyway.
He says he was laughing about your reaction to Pine staying out. It's funny, I had a similar reaction last week. Kluka ended up pitting for the softs after the second safety car, and this was like lap 8, right? And I kind of crucified him. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? It turns out...
Yeah.
the rain came after 5 laps, and he looked like a genius.
Yeah, playing the game is... Well, it's like our Brazil race. Oh, no, that was in another league. Never mind. So in another league, we had a Brazil race and said the rain was going to come about 20 minutes into the race or something like that. So I put on the hards thinking I could just stretch it. Well, the rain came on lap 3. And everyone who started on the softs looked like geniuses. I'm just like, well, no one was going to rain on lap 3. 20 minutes. Shortish 20 minutes. Like, for context, that was also the same league where it rained full wets in Vegas for the whole qualifying session. Codemaster's weather is something.
If you missed last week, we had 2 consecutive days in the rain in Baku.
What is Speedy doing? He's driving in the grass and just took out a sign for no reason.
Speedy likes to go on adventures. He's driving the Imola for next week.
Like next week's Imola?
Yeah. Buckle up. Same reaction here. Alright, back to green.
Pilot with a really good jump.
Pine with a good jump, honestly.
That's what I meant.
No, Pilot got a good jump too. Like, he's ahead of D-Swish still.
You can just see the grip difference. I think Pilot's going to try and dump the battery here. He should be able to outbrake him here. It should be relatively easy. Don't overdrive it. That's really easy to overdrive that and just, wash up into the guy. But alright. Now if your Pilot, dump the battery, see if you can get a gap. And maybe right off into the sunset here.
D-Swish is going to be patient. I thought he was going to make a move in the cops. He really backs out of it here. Wow. Kluka nearly made an overtake.
Yeah. Some guys are on his gearbox. Pine gets that all wrong and had the ERS dump down, or the battery dump down the hanger straight. Problem is, Stowe really isn't much of a braking zone. D-Swish goes for it.
Oh, there's contact! Major incident! Kluka is out of the race! That was a big impact, and the safety car is back out. What a wreck.
I do not know what Pine was doing there. I think it almost looked like he was trying to come into the pits, which makes his decision to stay out. I don't know, maybe he lost traction, but I believe that was all on Pine. And Kluka is probably not happy right now.
Yeah, I can hear it. He is not happy, as justified. Yeah, that was a hit. If this... do we need to get a concussion protocol in here? Because, well, actually, it's funny because, well, it's not funny, but Kluka projected not to race much the rest of the season due to other scheduling conflicts. So I guess if we look back on it at the end of the season, we could pretend like, oh, Kluka got injured at Britain and he couldn't race the rest of the season.
Jeez. Yeah, that was, that's something. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure where Pine was going. Maybe he was... I mean, now he's using the battery under safety car. Oh boy,
Do you want me to make a bad dad joke? You want me to make a dad joke?
Go for it.
I'll do it. He saw a pine tree and he went to go sniff it. No, that doesn't do it for you.
I'm not real. Why is he using the battery under safety car?
He wants the safety car to come back in this lap. He might have just gotten a warning there. Man, he's pushing it. He might crash under safety car and prolong it even further. Damn.
I think someone's hitting.
Oh, Speedy tried to pass Chabar in the pit lane. Nowhere to go. He's lucky he didn't go nose first into the barrier.
Yeah, and that's the... I guarantee these guys are risk out. Chabar putting on new mediums. It's interesting. Not a whole lot of wear on them. And Speedy putting on softs. That's what I thought Chabar was going to do. Yeah, I was wondering. I mean, it's going to be a stretch, but that's what I was wondering. Would anyone try and risk the softs? Yeah, I think the softs are going to be a bit of a risk here. So, yeah, I honestly don't mind that move for Chabar. He only doesn't lose that much time. He loses 2 spots, but have a little bit fresher mediums for the rest of the race. Might as well, with only 7 guys in the race right now.
This is what I love about racing on Wednesdays. You get a guy like Speedy that tries us out, and we can write down in our little notes whether or not to do that tomorrow. Well, actually, no. We have a 100% race, so this doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
Let me tear up my invisible notes.
The tire wear is a lot different in a 100% race, for sure.
Yeah, and this is the 1 week where we can't really rely on these guys for strategy. I am looking forward to that, though, tomorrow. I think we have a shot at getting some good points, you know, as Speedy. Yeah, Speedy's taking his extra race line here. What in the world? Yeah, why is he doing this, Charles?
I mean, maybe he thought... All I can think of is that he saw some sort of esports person maybe saying it's like a hack or something to get extra grip. I mean, you know... Do you remember what was that? I think it was a set of Corso just to make the grass hack at Spa or something. I think a set of Corso was... Well, yeah, it was ACC, whatever it is. I don't know, that was a huge controversy. Maybe it was iRacing. I don't know, one of those. Anyway, we're back to racing.
Back to racing. Pilot went very early there, right before Club, and he is able to get the whole field of 7 spread out.
Pretty good job on him. Now, Pine, Jabbar, and Speedy, I think, is going to be Bar's going to want to make quick work of Pine. Like I was saying, I think they have pretty equal pace based off what we saw in the first stint. Which we got to think Pine's going to be getting a pretty big post-race.
Yeah. Yeah. Challenger stewards are going to be all over that.
Obviously, Jabbar wants to beat him on track, but just kind of stay close.
Man, do you think Chabar's looking in his mirror and he's being like, you gotta be freaking kidding me?
Yeah, probably.
he's having Vietnam flashbacks.
Speedy,
oh no! Oh, it's a massive crash into the barrier head first, and Chabar's race is over. His first DNF in who knows how long, and that will be a penalty for Speedy.
No, well, no, he was beached. He had to. Like it was a DNF. Yeah, I don't think he should get a penalty unless you're talking about the actual crash.
The crash, yeah, because he
Oh no.
Chabar, yeah, that's one of the jobs of a lobby host. Yeah. All right. Well, luckily we are late in the race.
Crossed.
So, yeah.
Fingers crossed. Last time this happened, the lobby completely blacked out. This was in the other league that I'm in, and yeah, it ended up being looks like everything is stable at the moment. But yeah, If you were beat, I mean, I'm pretty sure, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, if you were beached and the car is literally stuck somewhere, you can reset the track if you have no other choice between that and disqualification.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have to go to resort to resetting to track, then yeah, that's fine. That's not what I'm focused on. I'm more focused on Speedy coming out of Stowe, going to the left, switching back to the right, and then hooking Chabar. He's lucky he's still in the race. I'm telling you, dude, like, we've had 2 crashes this race, and they are 2 of the biggest crashes I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. In my opinion, Chabar was kind of, I mean, Speedy backed out on the outside, but I don't know. Chabar kind of squeezed him a bit. I'd like to see another angle of that. 'Cause that looked, I don't know, I think they both could have avoided that pretty easily. Whoa, Speedy, what are you doing? He just bumped Pine there.
Oh, we're having a thing. He didn't do that on my screen. Oh boy, and it begins, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's see here. Who do you see coming into the pits?
I see Speedy, some guy, and Oreo.
Okay. Alright, we're good when it comes to that. Well, Oreo... Oh my god, look at... Oreo is the first person to ever pit outside of the pit lane here. Let's see how this will work.
I have no idea what you were looking at.
You should check out the stream. This is hilarious. Alright, let's see. Here comes Oreo. Oh, and he just teleported into his pit box and back out. That is the quickest and most efficient pit stop I've ever seen.
You're seeing something completely different from what I'm seeing.
What are you seeing?
I just saw a normal pit stop. There's nothing...
Well, he is back out on the track. He is behind some guy, so maybe it's not as broken.
I see what you're saying.
Right.
Well, what in the world? I'm watching the stream now. Fingers crossed this lobby doesn't die.
Yeah, no kidding.
Alright, well now... You know what? That some guy, I know he's got 3 seconds of time penalties. Some guy is in a really good spot.
I agree.
And Speedy saying Chabar closed the door while he was there. That's kind of what I saw. I think Speedy still had time to react and back out of it, but like I said, it seemed kind of like a bad block, in my opinion, on Chabar's part. But I'm sure the stewards will have a look at that.
Yeah, I do agree, but I think the move was a little ambitious to completely dart across the track like that. That would have thrown me off if I were in Chabar's situation. So I get it, every spot's important, but I don't know if that's a do or die situation.
Yeah, I don't think that one's nearly as clear cut as the first one, Pine and Kluka. That one was pretty obvious.
Alright, we are back underway. Pilot gets a good jump over D-Swish, but we will have to look at some guy as he is all over Pine for P3. Look at the closing rate here. I think he just got by him.
Speedy got by Oreo. Are we seeing 2 completely different things again?
No, we're seeing the same thing, except everybody's ghosting through Pine. I thought we were about to have a crash, but Pine is down to P5 and Oreo's in P6, so I think generally we're seeing the same things with maybe some side effects.
Oh, and Pine misses the corner.
Okay, I did not see that. I think that was the first time we haven't... Yeah.
Where's Pine right now?
P5.
Oh, he's in P6 for me.
Uh-oh. Rut-row Raggy. Yeah, this is...
Is D-Swish 3/10 behind Pilot?
He is. Thank God. Because that's what matters. And some guy is right on D-Swish's gearbox. Sort of. Not really. Well, kind of. Like 3/10
some guy, it's got a 3-car breakaway.
Yeah, Speedy Gunner up to P4. I dared to say this, but if something happens to the top 3, for the moment we could get a Speedy podium. But
now, is this Pine in the pit?
He is. Well, he is, but he's not. He's got. Look at this. We have an AlphaTauri train here on the front straightaway. How is? Let's see him teleport into the pits here. What the hell? Was Oreo stuck behind him?
No, Oreo's in P5. He's just chugging along by himself. He's having a good old time.
What the hell? What? Oreo was stuck behind him the entire front straightaway, and at the last second he was just like, alright, now I'm gonna pass you. That is short-worthy right there.
On my screen, Oreo is just, chugging along in P5. 2 behind Speedy. Having a good old time.
Well,
see what you...
Oreo was just like, nah, I'll wait.
So, the stream is about 40 seconds behind what I'm seeing. Yeah, okay, anyway. Some guy is now all over the top 2. I mean, I think it's going to be a battle royale to the end. Assuming they're all seeing the same thing,
I think so.
Is the top 3 all nose to tail?
Yeah, they're at the finish line right now, lap 22.
Okay. Yeah, so if anyone here is ever the lobby host, please don't leave, because the lobby goes to... I mean, it shouldn't. It's ultimately Codemaster's fault, but if you don't... when the lobby host leaves, the race goes to poo.
Yeah. True. Here we go.
Outside, D-switch.
Oh, contact! And Pilot spins out in front of some guy! Oh, no!
I did not see the best angle on that. It looked like D-Swish did cut a tight angle into the corner. What did you see?
I didn't have the best angle of it, but yeah, it looked like Pilot got into his left rear there, and usually in that type of scenario, the overtaking driver does tend to chop down on him, but now, like I said, Speedy Gunner could be in for his first...
Wait, has Oreo ever gotten a podium before?
No. Oreo is really far back on the line. Where? Okay, so where is he for you,
Oreo's
then?
a second and a half behind right now.
Oh. Behind who? Pilot? Or behind Speedy?
Behind Speedy.
Oh.
Pilot's a second and a half behind Oreo. They're still in P3 right now, based off time penalties.
Wow, okay. Huh. That is interesting.
Speedy with 6 seconds of time penalties.
Fastest lap goes to some guy.
Okay, some guy looking for big points here. Literally some guy could win now. Some guy has 3 seconds of time penalties, but I don't think we're going to know the true winner of this race. D-Swish gets a penalty. Now I'm probably getting some guy.
D-Swish got a penalty?
For the pilot contact. Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Speaking of which, Pilot, Pine just set the fastest lap. Pilot. Oreo's now all over Speedy Gunner on my screen.
Yeah, he's nowhere close for me. You'll have to tell us how that goes.
Well, I mean, if he's nowhere on your screen, he could be nowhere on Speedy's screen as well. Well, let's see what Oreo does here. Going for the move. And yeah, Speedy just cut across him like he wasn't there. Oreo hung onto it somehow. I'm sure Speedy or Oreo even knows that they're there. I mean, I know Speedy's listening to the stream. So it'll be interesting to see. I have no idea. to know
Speedy,
what happens.
tell us in the chat where Oreo is on your screen. I can't believe I have to say that, but you know. He might do it.
If you don't know, Oreo is literally bumping you right now, and I think Speed got a little bit of it. Yeah. If you don't know, Oreo is on your inside now, and Oreo is past. Oreo is gone now. He's probably listening to the chat and wondering what on earth are we. Oh, they collide! And Oreo goes for a spin. Again, I don't know if Oreo even know who is there. That was 100% on Speedy, assuming he has the same view I did. Which, who knows at this point.
Oh. Man, I feel for Oreo. He's been close a couple of times, and they've all been... Both times have been due to technological stuff.
Well, yeah, Pilot was always going to get him, because Pilot's right behind... Pilot actually has a 3-second penalty now, but Pilot was right behind Oreo, so Pilot was going to get Oreo anyway, so... I wouldn't say he lost the podium because of that, but also P4 anyway. Oreo! Or what's Oreo doing? He stopped! Come on, oh, he just spun. Okay, come on, get going. Yeah, what's Oreo doing on your screen?
He's just going for a Sunday cruise. It's funny. I saw a yellow flag in Maggots and Beckett's, but he didn't stop. Cool. He just kept going.
Yeah, that's where he is. He's now with his teammate. Does his teammate know he's there?
Nope.
Yes, his teammate apparently does. His teammate did. They're all taking it easy. Alright, 2 to top now. Again, the battle for the lead could be irrelevant. Since both of these guys are probably going to have significant time penalties. Well, some guy has 3 seconds. If these switch... We have 2 laps. We have a lap and a half to go, by the way.
Crazy.
This has been entertaining and confusing and everything at once. But yeah, D-Swish just could be irrelevant for D-Swish, because like I said, I think he might be getting a pretty big time penalty. We'll have all 3 of them in the post-race chat, so really interested to see what Pilot thinks of D-Swish's antics. As of now, Speedy Gunner's getting 4th. I mean, well, Pine and Oreo are so far behind him that will stand. I don't think Speedy gets a bunch of time penalties. Oh, Oreo is going off track again. Not that it really matters. You can technically retire now and you'd still get the P6 points. 90% roar, 95 or whatever it is.
90.
Yeah.
Well, I just think it's quite ironic, considering back in Bahrain, we had the opposite scenario to where there was contact with D-Switch and Pilot, and D-Switch went around. And now this week it's going to be Pilot going around and D-Switch taking the victory.
That one was ruled racing incident, correct?
Yes.
I feel like this one might be slightly different, but it's also one of those I only saw it from one angle, so...
Yeah. Oreo African did retire, so he will finish in P6.
Oreo will still get points. The other 3 will not. D-Swish draining the battery. Can he catch some guy? That's not going to matter because D-Swish will get the position on track. Although, some guy might get the position in the post-race stewards briefing. Some guy looked like it was going to be a lonely P4 for him. The turn have tables.
D-Swish wins the British Grand Prix Round 7 for his second victory of Season 17.
Pilot comes home P3. Whether or not that'll stay P3, I don't see D-Swish getting 10 seconds worth of penalties, but we shall see. That's why you always keep fighting, because Pilot been within those 10 seconds, you never know. Speedy crashes across the line. He does finish. So yeah, Speedy, if you're listening, please comment whether or not you saw Oreo African at all during that battle. I'm skeptical about what happened. Pine comes home P5. He'll probably be getting a penalty, but like I said, there's no one behind him, so it'll just be a bunch of penalty points, which obviously they will add up. Pine, please record your race. I don't know how your driver today. You're not gonna have. We're probably not gonna have footage now.
You know what, Charles?
I'm sorry, Pine. I'm not trying to drag you through the mud on your first race, but there's this whole race. I'm just shaking my head. I don't know.
You know what? We have had in the last 2 weeks a combined finishers of 9 cars in the last 2 weeks. That's got to be a new low.
What was this like? Was it like Monaco 1993 when only 3 cars finished or whatever? It was raining. Was it 93? Sometime in the 90s.
Might have been, yeah. Oh boy. Well,
Jabbar did apologize. Yeah, I understand. I understand getting pissed there. All right. Well, let's. I guess when you get the.
Yeah, we'll go and do it in Discord because a pilot is a PC guy, so we will.
Yeah, and Pine says that he was trying to come into the pits, which makes sense. It explains the incident, although it doesn't explain why he just didn't pit under a safety car.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, is what it is. And then Chibar is going to have the other one with Speedy Gunner. Like I said, that one's going to be interesting to see what we'll say of that one. And I'm really interested to see, I don't know, did Speedy say Oreo?
Charles, you can switch over to the Discord right now.
Okay. Yeah, Speedy does confirm that he did not see Oreo. I was trying to stop you there, Speedy, but I guess it didn't quite come off. Oh well.
Yeah, not much he could do there. Definitely not going to get a penalty for that.
That's a Codemasters issue, which again shouldn't be a thing. But all right, I'll hop over to the post-race chat.
All right. We'll start this up once we get everybody in here. If you do have a question for these guys, I don't typically ask this, but if you do have a question for these guys, feel free to leave one down in the chat. I see we've had a lot of people tune in today, so that's always good to see. Hello.
Some guy usually hasn't joined post-comms all season, has he?
He actually joined last week. Oh. The 1 week you weren't here, he joined the interviews.
Alright, some guy, please come over here if you're listening.
Well, we can get this started with P3. We'll start with Pilot. Man, almost a carbon copy of a couple of weeks ago, but just different circumstances. It was you and D-Swish going into a corner. There was contact. What did you see from your point of view?
Yeah, it was just unfortunate from my point of view. I mean, I don't know. I think when he was coming up, I knew he was going to pass me. I thought he was going to the inside, so that's why I came over so aggressively. He ended up going to the outside, and then we just came together. I don't know if there was much more to it. I have to look back. I don't know if I'll report it. It just seems like an unfortunate incident.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't get the best angle of it, but we assumed that D-Swish just chopped down on you because in those scenarios, it's easy for the overtaking car to kind of kind of cut the corner a little bit too early and clip you. But yeah, no, that's unfortunate because you were up there obviously uh, for the win, but there were a couple of safety cars throughout the race, and I'm sure you'll look back on them later on. But we had a couple of really big crashes that brought out those safety cars. Was there anything you could have done differently for strategy?
I mean, I don't know. I really don't think so. That last safety car, I could have pit. I would have come out, I think, P3, but being in the lead, I didn't know who was going to pit, who wasn't going to pit. So I decided my best bet was to just stay out.
Gotcha. I think that's it for me. Charles, you got any questions?
Yeah. Was there any like weird? How was the lobby stability towards the end? Did you ever notice anything weird with any of the other cars? How did that notice? And yeah, how did the mediums feel in the first stint? Towards the end, the lobby, everything was fine for me. That first stint with the mediums felt pretty good. I wasn't able to get the overtake on D-switch in the beginning, but I was able to stick with the top two pretty well and just follow them until the safety car, so felt pretty good. All right, well, that's all I got for you, so congrats on a solid run. Like I said, unfortunate there was looking like it was going to be a really good battle towards the end, but sometimes things happen, and yeah, I'm sure we'll have plenty more battles between you three, or four, I guess, Kluga. Actually, no, it's Kluga's last race, so you three, the remaining of the season, so.
Yeah, Pilot, congrats on the P3. And hey, you know what? You do move up to P3 in the standings now, so you're creeping up there. Actually, I have one more question. So we are finishing up the first half of the season. So any second half season expectations, hopes, wishes?
I mean, more of a wish than anything. Right now, every race I've done, I've gotten on the podium. If I can keep that streak going, that would be great.
Okay. I actually, I picked you on the podium today, which I know both me and Charles have kind of been bad about that, honestly. We have been sleeping on you a little bit throughout the season, and he picked you for the win, but I picked you for P3. Actually, I think I picked the podium perfectly today. Huh. How many times has that happened, Charles? Not often. All right. Yeah, man. Congrats on the P3, and we'll see you next week. All right, let's move on to. We'll go up to P1. We got D-Switch here. Second victory of the season. Probably not how you wanted to get it, just because there was contact with you and Pilot. What happened from your point of view?
Hey guys, I'm driving to work, so if I cut out, let me know, please.
Okay.
I mean, I thought I took it as wide as I could. I thought I left enough room. I couldn't really see from my point of view because I was already like pretty much past him on my screen. So, I mean, I don't know if he wants to submit it like I did it with the last one just to see. I mean, he could do that, but I don't know. I felt like it was just the same thing as last week, kind of just more of a racing incident. I think I was going to get him eventually anyway, but yeah.
Okay. All right. And then after the second safety car, we had the lobby kind of collapse. Did you see anything funny from your screen? Was there any glitches of any sorts?
Under the safety car, maybe a few times, but it wasn't anything like crazy.
Okay. All right. Well, that's at least good to know. I mean, we saw at the front, it looked like things were pretty good with you, Pilot, some guy. But towards the back, we literally had people pitting on the racetrack, right? Like, they were going at pit speed, and they were still on the racetrack. It was...
Code message for you.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Apparently no one else could see Oreo either, so he just got crashed. He was invisible. Someone else was anyway.
Charles, you got anything?
Shoot. Or you thought maybe some guy was going to get away from him? You know, he had the fresh stalls. Did you have any trouble with him at the end?
No, I think he had burned a lot of his battery trying to get past, or trying to, catch up after the safety car. We got a pretty good jump on him, because he was pretty much blinking the entire time I was following him. And I just had to burn a bit of battery, but I knew I could stick with him.
Well, that's all I got. I said congrats on a good drive. Sorry if you watched back. I did kind of say you probably chopped over on. Like you have an angle. Kind of feel like one eye small, but yeah, like I said, one angle. Good job, good driving, and I think you're going to see a lot of battles.
Definitely, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, bud, and have fun at work. Don't work yourself too hard. All right. Charles, man, I don't know what to think. The last few weeks, this class has been just crazy. We've had 9 people finish the race in the last 2 weeks. So what are we thinking for Imola next week?
I mean, Imola's a track where the walls are close. There's a lot of fast chicanes. The curbs are evil. I mean, listen, I feel like it was just a lot of dumb luck today, more so than the track. Because, I mean, Baku, let's be honest, it wasn't too surprising at Baku. But, yeah, I think they're just going to have to... I think things will be better next week. I think guys will be a bit more calm on just a normal-ish race. Another track next week of a long pit delta. Maybe that'll come into effect. Didn't really affect today very much, but... yeah, that was... wild race, 2 big crashes, and what gets me is how similar both the crashes were, really. Yeah, they looked almost the same. One was a little bit further down, but down the straight towards what's named the last corner.
Stowe or
No.
Club?
Club. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, 2 big crashes, 2 very similar crashes, so. Yeah, hopefully we get more finishers next week, but, yeah, this has been crazy, and a lot of good racing, a lot of good battling, and a lot of Codemaster stuff. That's all I gotta say.
That sounds about every week. It seems like that's how it goes. I'm not gonna lie, Charles, when I saw Chabar sliding towards that barrier, I thought we were going to see our first flip in God knows how long. I thought he was going to... I mean, he hit the thing a ton, but I thought he was going to do one of those, 360 barrel roll type situations.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with Speedy kind of sandwiching in there, but yeah. Honestly, we're lucky to have as many finishes as we did, because both Pine and Speedy could have very easily DNF'd as well, so... Can you imagine a race with 4 finishers, but there's 3 finishers, but anyway.
Yeah.
So it was 90s, but anyway.
We almost had that last week. Chabar finished P4, and he was 70 seconds behind 3rd place. It was unreal. But that will do it for tonight. We do have one more race tomorrow night back here in Silverstone for the Elite Series 100% race. That race will start 30 minutes early at 8:15 Eastern Time. Invites will go out at 8 o'clock, so just be on the lookout for that. But that will do it for tonight. My name is Camden Luca. That is Sir Charles, and we will see you next week in Imola. Have a good night.